Hi, we are indeed live. It's always I'm sitting waiting with bated breath as to whether it's actually going to work or not. Because earlier on this week, I think was it this week? I can't remember. When I tried to go live, it wouldn't let me do it from my computer, and I had to do it from my phone. And then I went live in another group earlier today, and it worked fine. And I also got the kind of it's working. It is working. Oh, I didn't even realise that I'm so early. Crikey. I'm on the ball today. Didn't even know if the tech's working. Turning up early. It's a good day. It is a good day. Right. Who's with me live? Is anybody with me live, or am I so early that nobody is here? If you are grabbing me live, give me a hashtag live. And if you are on replay, give me a hashtag replay. So before we get started on the masterclass, I wanted to remind you all that Saturday is the last day of the step challenge. And again, a huge thank you for those of you who've taken part. It's been epic. It's been humbling, to say the least. It has been really good, and we are looking at what challenges we can do next. So it's going to be quite exciting. We are, what else did I want to say? Step challenge. Oh yeah, that was another one. So everybody who put their pants, their hand up. Oh my God. Everybody who put their hand up for the offer that I put out last week, which was those 4 spaces, for, an offer to come in and work with us at 2019 prices. They're all taken. They are all full. So thank you everybody that put their hand up for that. Really liked it. Our last lady joined us today, a lady called Sarah. And if you are here, lovely Sarah. Sarah's got the best fringe in the world. Genuinely, I couldn't stop looking at it. Anyway, hi Sarah, if you're watching. And if you're not, you'll never know. Anyway, right, so what are we doing tonight? Oh, that's another thing I wanted to remind you of. On Friday at 2 p.m, Clara and I are coming live with our monthly Ask Us Anything. And we want as many questions as possible because it means that we can talk rubbish for an hour. Maybe not quite much as an hour because we have school children to go and pick up and whatnot. But yeah, come along, hang out. Ask us some embarrassing questions, ask us some awkward questions, ask us some embarrassing questions, ask us a question anonymously. I don't know how you can do that. How could you do that? I don't know. If anybody does have a question that they don't want to ask because they think it might be embarrassing, then I'm not sure how you'd ask that question, but you can private message me and ask me not to say the name, which is fine. But I'll tell you right now, there is no such thing as an awful question, no such thing as an embarrassing question. So ask away. You don't need to put I wouldn't announce your name if you don't want me to. But anyway, so tonight we are covering the question or the statement that causes me to bang my head off desks quite frequently. And that is, I know what to do, why am I not doing it? Okay, and I'm going to cover this in quite some depth. Obviously I can't personalize it to everybody, and everybody will have different reasons why this is, but this is going to be a general overview. And it might be, you might need to get a notebook. Because I'm going to go through some really cool stuff. Ask me questions as we go, please. It's important that this is genuinely one of the most common things for me. And I've even said it myself. Like I say it myself around business things. I say it myself to when like I have blitz in my routine. I go, I know what I should be doing. Why am I not doing it? And it's kind of, it comes from a place, anyway, no, I'm jumping ahead. I am jumping ahead, right? So I know what to do, so why can't I do it? That is the big umbrella question, isn't it? Now, if you were to scan through Instagram or social media or many other coaching places, they would tell you that it's because you don't want it enough, or they would tell you that you're just making excuses, or you're not prepared to work for it. You know, that whole t-shirts and stuff, work for it, don't wish for it, all that kind of stuff. That's what you would be led to believe, and that's not necessarily true. I think that does everybody a bit of a disservice and only serves to make people feel more shit about themselves. And it's little wonder that women in their 40s and 50s can be so riddled with self-doubt and lack of confidence and low self-esteem, if you consider like all the changes that go on in our lives and all the changes that happen to our bodies anyway, by then being told that it's because we don't want it enough. And in some cases, it is a case of we don't want it enough, or it is we are using excuses, or somebody isn't prepared to work for it and they just want a magic wand. In some cases, that is absolutely true. But if that is truly the case, those people really don't care and wouldn't be listening to this anyway. So, you know, if you want results but you don't really want results, then you're never going to get results. But ultimately, you have to become at peace with that. And if you're not prepared to make changes, then nothing fundamentally is going to change. And this is not directed to those people, because they're not here, because they don't care. If you know, it's fine. So when we're talking about lack of action or lack of motivation, it can be in some instances. Research tells us that those blockages, if you like, are due to different factors. It could be chemical, so hormones, it could be neurological thought processes, or it could be psychological. And a combination of all of these different things can stop us in our tracks. So if you think about why most of us will say they're not able to do something that they know they should be doing, it'll be normally manifest itself as too stressed, not enough time, too tired, not in the right headspace. But actual fact, there's other things going on, and that's where most people, the window will close, and it's just like, oh, I'm just not doing it. But we need to look a little bit deeper to figure out, well, why am I not doing it? I'm too stressed. Why am I stressed? What is it that's stressing me out? Oh, I'm anxious. Why am I anxious? I'm anxious about the future, which is basically the definition of anxiety, like anxious about what's coming, but we don't actually know, so we're fretting over nothing. So those reasons why we're not doing it are actually coming from a different place, and it's going to be quite hard to dig that out without a little bit of thinking. So what is really quite sad, I don't know if sad's the right word, is that when we get to this, I know what to do, why am I not doing it? And we get blown off course, we see it as only our fault. We shoulder the burden all by ourselves, and we don't actually necessarily look at what is it that you've been trying to do in the first place. So that's one aspect that we need to look at. But also we need to maybe consider, is that where the focus should be going? So if it's I know I should be doing this to lose weight, like, say it's eating. I know I should be eating better in order to lose weight. I know I should be exercising better to lose weight. But they're the tactical things. We're not looking at all the environmental factors, as how you live, as your lifestyle conducive to that. Do you work in a restaurant that only serves chips? Like, it's going to be quite hard. So we need to focus on the right things. But we must look at our beliefs as well, and this could easily end up in a 4-hour session, to be honest. But if we look at our beliefs, and if you aren't aware of limiting beliefs or things that hold us back, things we believe to be true in the material world, I urge you to do a search in this group for limiting beliefs. And there are two at least 2 video masterclasses on limiting beliefs and 1 big post. I did a search myself earlier because I was trying to find a video for a lady that I've been chatting to. But we need to look at our beliefs, because it's our beliefs that determine who we are trying to be, or what is stopping us being who we want to be. So if we think about focus. So why am I not, I know what to do, why am I not doing it? Are you actually focusing on it? Because doing the right things repeatedly does require focus at first, certainly. And if suddenly something happens and you stop doing that thing, it doesn't take long for any old pattern that you might have to sneak back in. Because say you're 40 and you've been, say you're 50, right, makes it easier, and you have been doing things a certain way for 45 years, and then you start embedding new processes, new habits, new thought processes, and you've been doing them for 3 years, but then something happens and you stop doing that thing for a week. You've got to remember that your past behaviors and habits from that past 45 years are a bigger presence in your mind than what you've been doing for the 5 years. So in order to keep making sure that you're doing the right things, you need to keep focusing from time to time on the new patterns and new habits, and focus. Over time, it will become, you'll require less focus and less focus and less focus and less focus. And it's the same as mindset work. Mindset work never ends. Never ends. You know, thinking about limiting beliefs is something that we might need to do continually. Looking at our future selves, designing our future selves is something that we need to do repeatedly. Goal setting is something that we need to do repeatedly. Digging deep and finding out why we want to do things needs to be done repeatedly. It's not just a one and done. You can't do it one and done, because then it's not real life. It's just something that you've done. It's like painting your house. You do it and then it fades, doesn't it? So you need to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. So we have to learn to ask ourselves the right questions, because what typically happens is we stop doing what we know we should be doing, and we let all these old things creep in and take over. But then we don't do anything about it. We just go, oh, I know what to do, why am I not doing it? We're not asking ourselves the right questions. So we need to start asking ourselves, why am I not doing what I need to do? And the first question should always be, do I actually know what to do? Because in my experience, most people don't actually know what to do. They think they know what to do because they think they need to do what they did when they were 30. This is in the fat loss realm. Most people think they need to do what they did when they were 30, which is like go and join Weight Watchers or Slimming World, because it worked for them before. And then it doesn't work. And then they go down that cycle of, oh, I'll try this and I'll try this and I'll try keto and I'll try intermittent fasting, I'll try all these things. So when you actually ask the question to somebody, what is it that you should be doing? Eating less and moving more. Yeah, that's part of it. That's fun. That is absolutely part of it. But there's a reason why you've obviously not been able to do that, because you are in a position where you need to lose weight, get confidence back, whatever. So if the answer is no, you don't know what to do, then you're going to need to learn what to do. Because if you keep doing the same things on repeat, you're going to get what you've always had. So you need to learn. And if you don't know how to eat for fat loss, to eat for hormonal health, to eat for longevity, to make sure you're going to have low risk of health factors moving forward, then learn. And that's why people like me exist. And if you want to learn, there are over 100 masterclasses on nutrition, on fat loss, on mindset, on exercise, etc., in this group. And you can always put your hand up and ask a question. If the answer is yes, you do know what to do, this is quite easy to fix. Because if you do know what to do, we need to then skip to, well, what is it I believe to be true? And this is where we have to look at the big EGO. ego playing a big part. So ego, not eagle. It always sounds like I'm saying eagle, which is a big bird in the sky, not that. Ego, which is our self. Our egos are huge. And we don't think like people, I'm not talking about the big I am ego. It's just ego. It's just us. But really dig into that question of, well, what do I believe here? Yes, I know what to do, so why am I not doing it? Is it because I'm too busy? Why am I too busy? What have I let go? What have I let go of my own, the habits, to do what instead? Am I too stressed? Do I believe that I am too stressed to do this? And is that actually true? In a lot of cases, it will be true. And I'm going, okay, so how do I need to deal with that better to enable me to do the things that I know that I should be doing? Am I being lazy? It's a hard question to ask. And when you do the am I being lazy, and you go, no, I'm not being lazy. And you go, okay, right, let me have a look at my social media time, or let me have a look at my scroll time on my phone, or how many times a day am I dipping in and out of social media, etc., etc. You know, have a look of all these things that are going on. And if you do truly know what to do, and this is positioned, I think it was Kathleen had said, I need this training for tonight. So Kathleen knows fundamentally what to do. But when life gets in the way and we start letting old habits and patterns creep in, we need to go back to the beginning. And we need to start introducing those small, easy to implement things. So it doesn't matter what it is. It can be just a case of, I need to get more steps. I need to set myself a target of doing an extra 5,000 steps a day. And you do that. And you do that repeatedly for a week. And you do that, okay, I nailed that. That was easy. And that starts building those neural pathways that you have done this before with great success. Because when you've done something well, you get a reward out of it. So if you have, so the lady that I'm thinking about in particular, she went through our program and she implemented all these baby steps and she got great results. She lost her 2 dress sizes. She felt amazing. Was still able to have a fun social life and whatnot. So I suspect life has happened. She's got stressed or something here. She needs to go back to basics. So yes, go back to the beginning. She might need to do more steps. She might need to walk, get more water in. She might need to eat some vegetables, you know. But doing small things repeatedly are what is going to get the big results. So always, always, always go back to basics. So this is only if you fundamentally have 110% confidence that you know what to do. If you have been doing the same thing with shit results repeatedly, you do not know what to do. Okay, let's draw a line out of that. Just because you can find that, and I'll go back to the quote. For those of you that are quite new, a lady said to me, couple of weeks ago, my husband and I don't believe in coaching because why should I pay for something that I can find on the internet? To which I did laugh and said, well, I know you can't find our program on the internet because it's a paid for program, but pretty much every component of what we do is probably available on the internet. However, there is 1 billion hits on Google of how to lose weight. 1 billion. Yeah, you can go and find it all, but if you've got all the time in the world to do that, then, well, certainly we're not the right coaching program for you. But anyway, I also can go and find things on the internet. I can go and learn how to do brain surgery on the internet. It doesn't mean to say I'm going to stroll into the Royal Infirmary in Glasgow and start operating on someone's brain. Absolutely hell no. So just to go back to that point, paying for coaching isn't paying for the science. Paying for coaching is the accountability and the individualization of what is available on the internet to make it as quick and easy as possible for the individual. Anyway, that's my rant over. So in actual fact, that lady, she can go and find out all the things to do, but she still doesn't know what to do. Anyway, so that's, if you don't know what to do, learn. Go and find somebody that does know how to do it and get them to teach you. So if we go back a wee bit and go back to, right, I do know what to do, I'm still really struggling, bring it back to basics. What is it that we are telling ourselves? Is this belief real? Is this belief justified? Or is this real just imagined and it's getting in my head? And we can start getting rid of all those beliefs. And I gave a little tip in one of the limiting beliefs training. And limiting beliefs is really, really easy to overcome. But we have to allow ourselves, we have to choose that we want to overcome them, and we have to work on it. And that means we need to write all these icky things in our heads, icky things down. Like, oh, I'm just not worth it. And you might, like, nobody would ever say, I don't believe I'm worth it. It might happen once or twice. I don't believe I'm worth it. But when people say things like, oh, I can't justify that, or I can't find the time, that is self-worth. Everybody should have the time to better their health. Everybody should have the time to be able to find a way of helping them live 10 extra years. Anyway, we need to find all these icky beliefs, and we need to get them down on paper, and we need to score through them and write new ones. I believe that I do have time to introduce all these things. I have got endless time for self-improvement. I have all the time in the world for self-development. All of these things, and get them out of your head. And when these icky beliefs come into your head and you go, oh, I should go for a walk, but I don't have time, shake out and go, where'd that come from? No, that's not true. I'm just going to go out. And I'm not saying you need to go out and do your 10,000 steps in one walk, but you go out and you just walk around the block and go, right, I did something, that's good, that's better than nothing. And that still starts to reintroduce all these neural pathways. All right. So one of the other things that can come into play when we're talking about why we're not doing what we're supposed to do can be down to compromise. It can be because we've lost sight of our goals. It can be when we are trying to make our decisions more convenient rather than helpful. I'll just skip this today and I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, I'll just skip this today and do it tomorrow. That's convenience. That's not doing the work that you need to do. Okay. But that also can come down to the fact that we've maybe lost sight of what our goal is, or we've maybe reached our goals. This is actually hugely common when people do reach their goals. And what now? What now? And that's really hard. So that's why we always want to make sure that our goals are exciting, that our goals are motivating, that what we want to achieve means something to us. And that's why I always say about goal setting is, losing 2 dress sizes is amazing. That's a huge transformation. But what then? What then? And that's why we always look at, what would that do for you? How would that change things? Would that better your health for the long term? Would that mean that you've got more confidence to rip your clothes off in front of your hubby? Would that mean that you're going out swimming with the kids and actually impacting other people as much as impacting yourself? So if you are in that space where you've lost motivation because you have reached goals, then it's time to get some exciting goals. And it could be something like just really out there that's going to take you out of your comfort zone. Like, be like Claire Manning and jump out of a plane. Don't be like Claire Manning and jump out of a plane. Don't shout at me. Anyway, like, go have a look at things that excite you. Go and start playing a musical instrument. Wanting to go to a specific event. All these different things can start rebuilding that excitement. So yeah, we need to get excited about our goals, be passionate about our goals, otherwise become quite drained and bored by them, and then it becomes a chore trying to reach them. So yeah, look at goals, look at your why. Hugely important. Why do I want to have this? Why do I want this goal? If it's weight loss, why do I want this? If it's health, why do I want why? Hugely important. Also, accountability is, I think probably most of our clients would say that accountability is one thing that they've never had properly before. Yeah, people have had accountability to go and stand in the town hall with Mary who's doing your way in and then shouting your way across. That's not accountability. No, accountability is that, well, this is what we're doing. Let's do it this way. How are you getting on? Right, well, what's got in the way? You know, accountability is not battering somebody over the head if they don't do something, but it's understanding, like, what are the blockers and helping them overcome the blockers to be able to succeed. Or, you know, do we need to do things a completely different way because there's something about that person or lifestyle or something that means that they can't do things the way that we would normally do them. And that's, accountability is huge. So get some accountability. Get some, once you know what it is to do, get some accountability. And not your partner. Seriously, I've said this time and time again, not your partner, your best friend, because you will enable each other. You will get to a Thursday and go, oh, let's just go out for chips, or let's just have a bottle of wine, or something. And the other one will say, well, you told me that I wasn't to let you do that. Like, oh, well, I'm changing my mind now. And then the other person just go, yeah, okay then. Because they don't want you to be angry or mad or upset or stressed. They want you to be happy and they want you to be in a good place. So they're like, I say it to my husband all the time, don't let me drink wine this week. And then I'll get to Thursday or Friday and I'll be like that, oh, I'm really stressed, really want some wine. And he'll say, you said, and I'll go, please. And he'll go, okay. You see? And it probably happens in most relationships. So yeah, try and get an accountability. Somebody that will challenge you. You know, somebody that will get you out of your comfort zone. That's quite important. So yeah, so this is actually going on a bit longer than I thought. Anyway, so going back to the beginning, most people don't know what to do. Most people think they know what they do because social media has told them, or their friends have told them, or they have this belief from 20 years ago that something might have worked for Karen down the road. When it comes to fat loss, please reject the notion that it is just move more, eat less, because it's not just that. Because what we find when people try and do that is they either go down the route of binge eating, comfort eating, losing the plot completely, getting injured. So yeah, be mindful that that is not the sole way. We need to add more into it. We need to think about hormones. We need to think about mindset. We need to think about accountability. We need to think about what to eat. We need to think about how to eat. We need to think about health. All these facets to permanent change. So yeah. And remember, if you do know what to do, go back to basics. Take action on the small things. Do the small things well and the big things will come. Change your environment. That can be another factor actually if you do know what to do. You know, suddenly the kids' sweetie cupboard has gone from being up high and now it's at eye level, or we're starting to put shit foods in the eye level in the fridge. You know, just be very, very mindful of all the things that you can control, and environment is a big one. And dig deeper into those questions that I'll put out there. Right, let's see. Did that all make sense? I felt as if I waffled quite a lot there. I'm sorry. It's a very interesting topic and I do love it. But it's hard to generalize it when everybody has very different experiences. Very, very different experiences. So please give me some kind of confirmation that that did indeed make sense and it wasn't just a lot of nonsense. Let me know. Sorry, I'm just checking that questions on the group. Nothing's coming through. Cool. All right. So, Sarah, so many times I feel like I know what I need to do, but I don't always do it. Sometimes I have no idea why. I don't even have excuses. A lot of the time I self-sabotage way too much. So there's elements of you're saying I don't always do it, and the goal for all these things that we're teaching you is not to do them perfectly, because you're not going to be perfect all the time. You know, even, you know, this has been over 5 years that I've been coaching for, and I still don't always drink my water. I still don't always get 10,000 steps a day. I still don't always get 5 portions of fruit and veg. I still don't always get lean protein at every meal. You know, all these things that I know I should be doing, and I definitely don't always slow down my eating. But the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to make all these things the norm. And you've got to remember, you've only been doing it, you've done it less than a year. So, yes, that's why the accountability is so important, because you've got someone there to slap you and go, just get on with it, you know what you're doing. But also, if you think about how self-aware you are just by asking that question, you know that there's sabotage going on, but actually there is a pattern. If you look back, and I know you've already identified this because I had quite a big topic in the group the other day, you know what the pattern is. So now you've taken steps to interrupt that pattern. And pattern interruption. Oh my God, I could do another hour. How long you got, ladies? So pattern interruption is just another huge, huge way of moving forward. You know, we have all these patterns and habits and thought processes and all these beliefs that have become embedded in the how many years you've been alive, and they all come to us because of how we were raised, how we were taught at school, what we've seen on TV. You know, they come from being absorbed over the years. It's not conscious. So there are many things that there's so many ways to explore. Oh my God. Open your mind, man. God, I should have been a hippie, shouldn't I? Kind of am. Anyway, so yeah, sometimes you won't know why. It will just be a trigger that has happened, but you've now got some tools that you can use to interrupt. And it's not always like, so think about, let me think of a common habit. Coming home from work, super stressed and going straight for alcohol. Okay, so that is really common. So you've been good all week, I hate that phrase, been good all week, you come home from work on a Thursday and straight for the wine. Dinner's cooking, swigging some wine. That's not actually to do with being in the kitchen cooking and having the wine. That's actually, we need to break that pattern from either earlier on in the day or earlier on in the week, because we have to, everything that we do builds up to, you know, everything that I've done today builds up to now, everything that I'll do later builds up to bedtime, and that all has all these different dependencies. So look at the day before. What is in that day? Could it be, you know, there was a very good example about this lady didn't know why she overate, and it was when we did some research and did some looking at her day-to-day life, it was always after she'd spoke to her mum. So there we had the trigger. And there we can either go down the route of, okay, well, we need to dig deeper into this, you know, why is what having that conversation making you do what you're doing? Or we break the trigger and we change the phone calls with the mum to the morning rather than of an evening. You see, so it can be different things. It's not actually related to the thing. The actual thing is the end result. It's all the things before the thing that are going to make the difference. So that's why I'll talk about, you know, if it's a Thursday night, you normally come home and go straight into the wine, change your Thursday nights, take a different route home, park the car somewhere else, go for a bath straight away. You know, different things that's going to break the trigger, break that pattern. And you might need to do that repeatedly. You might need to choose to work from a different office, you know, completely, so that your brain isn't going, right, so what happens next is this, and what happens next is this. And then it starts almost second guessing, going, I don't know what's going on. And then it stops that whole, oh, well, I must have wine now, it's 5 o'clock. Did that help? So having a Milky Way, Sarah, is not sabotaging. Build it in. If you know that you like a Milky Way every couple of nights, have a Milky Way every couple of nights. I go through phases where I have a Freddo every night. I haven't had a Freddo this week because I don't have any in the house. And it doesn't, like, it can just be habitual. Play about with different things. Have a chocolate protein shake. Does that not work for you? If not, have the bloody Freddo. Milky Way, sorry. Why would you want a Milky Way? They're a bit shit, are they not? Oh dear. Love it. Love it. Love it. Right. I don't think there's any more questions. I'm a bit concerned why there's no more questions because this is so big. So big. No. Right. I'm going to love you and leave you. It's dinner time. We are having gammon. Don't actually know what we're having with the gammon. I can't remember. Vegetables with yellow carrots. I'm quite excited about the yellow carrot, rainbow carrots, and might have potatoes. Might do a cheese sauce. Who knows? Anyway, right, please let me know if that all made sense. Please let me know if you need any more information on this stuff. Happy to chat with anyone on Messenger if they want, and happy days. Happy days. And get your questions over about Ask Us Anything Friday. Doesn't really have a ring to it, does it? Ask Us Anything Friday. Okay, right. I need to do a poll tomorrow as well about lead magnets and exciting topics and get some opinions from people. So yes, I think you do need to do that, and we can talk if you're available tomorrow at 5. We can do it tomorrow at 5 on the accelerator call. All right. Why have I got such big bags under my eyes? Is it just eyeliner or I look shattered? I'm not shattered, I promised. I've had about 7.5, 8 hours sleep every night this week. It's been brilliant. Anyway, right, you don't need to know that. Night night. Love you all dearly. Have a lovely evening. Speak soon. Bye 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 bye.